Welcome students to class 6. We stopped here in our previous video of social study history chapter 3rd. Let's continue from here. So what was the topic we were discussing? In search of raw materials. In search of raw materials, they are moving from different places to find their raw material. Okay, I hope you understand the meaning of raw material. Let us revise it again. Raw materials are substances that are either found naturally or produced by farmers or herders. That means the raw material means they are using some kind of material to make a particular product, like they are making jewelries and ornaments, weapons, vessels, tools. All these are they making through this raw material, like wood, ore of metals. All this they are bringing from different places. So some of the examples are also given, like cotton produced by farmers is a raw material that can be processed to make cloth, while some of the raw material that the Harappans used were available locally. Many items such as copper, tin, gold, silver and precious stone has to be brought from distant places. So all this they are bringing and making a process and producing the finished goods. The Harappans probably got copper from present day Rajasthan, so they are bringing copper from Rajasthan and even from Oman in West Asia. So they are also bringing from West Asia copper. Then tin, which was mixed with copper to produce bronze, may be brought from Afghanistan and Iran. So all these are the products, means the raw material they are bringing from distinct places. Some of the examples are given, like how they are bringing copper, like they are bringing copper from Oman and Rajasthan, and tin and to produce bronze from Afghanistan and Iran, and gold it can be brought from Karnataka, and precious stones from Gujarat, Iran and Afghanistan. So likewise they are bringing the raw material to produce the products. Okay, the next topic we have to discuss is our food from people in the cities. While many people lived in the cities, others living in the countryside grow crops and reared animals. These farmers and herders supplied food to craftspersons, scribes and rulers in the cities. We know from remaining of plant that the Harappans grew wheat, barley, pulses, peas, rice, sesame, linseed and mustard. So what are people who are living in countryside, they are growing crops and they are herding animals. Okay, then they are supplying their food to craftsmen, then scribes and rurals in the cities. And we also know about the plants that the Harappans were growing, that are wheat, barley, pulses, peas, rice, sesame, linseed and mustard. These are the crops which are grown by Harappans. So the next is a new tool. The plug was used to dig the earth for turning the soil and planting seeds, while real plugs, which were probably made of wood, has not survived. Toy models have been found. As this region does not receive heavy rainfall, some form of irrigation may have been used. This means that water was stored and supplied to the field when the plants were growing. The Harappans reared cattle, sheep, goats and buffaloes. Water and pastures were available around settlements. However, in the dry summer months, large herds of animals were probably taken to greater distance in search of grass and water. So the tool was, you can look at the picture, it is a toy plug. Today in many farming communities only man use the plug. We do not know whether the Harappans follow such custom or not. So that means it is a toy plug. So it is used for digging the soil of the earth for planting the seeds, but it is not that much survived. It is made up of wood, and there was very less rainfall in that area, in that region. So for irrigation they are using the water which they have stored, and when they grow the plants, then they supply the water to the for the purpose of irrigation. And Harappans reared cattle, sheep and goats and buffaloes. These are the animals they are rearing. And water and pastures were available around settlements. Okay, and during the summer season they have to take the animals long way for in search of grass and water. They also collect fruits like bear, caught fish and hunt animals like the antelope. So they also collect the fruits. You may remember the name bear. Then they also catch fish and hunt wild animals like the antelope. This kind of all the life they are living. This is the food of the people who are living in Harappans. A closer look, Harappans towns in Gujarat. Now we go through the Harappan towns in Gujarat. The city of Dholavira was located on Khadir Beach, also spelled as Bech, in the run of Kutch, where there was fresh water and fertile soil. Unlike some of the other Harappan cities, which were divided into two parts, Dholavira was divided into three parts, and each part was surrounded with massive stone walls with entrance through great ways. So, where was the city of Dholavira was located? It was located on the Khadir Beach in the run of Kutch, where there was fresh water also available and the soil was also very fertile. And some other cities which were divided into two parts. Okay, and Dholavira was divided into three parts, and all the parts were divided, means they are surrounded with a massive stone wall, means very big stone walls. It was very protected with a very big stone walls, and with the entrance also they are having a particular gate for entrance. There was also a large open area in the settlements where public ceremonies could be held. Other finds includes large letters of the Harappan script that were carved out of white stone and perhaps inlaid in wood. This is a unique find, as generally Harappan writing has been found on small objects such as seals. So also there was a big board was kept on which it was carved out of white stone. It was carved out on a white stone. It was written about a script of Harappans, which was again a great finding, as only we have seen through the seals only we had got. Until now they had got only the seals of Harappans, but this was a new finding that they saw with the Harappan script. The city of Lothal stood besides a tributary of the Sabarmati in Gujarat, close of the Gulf of Kambat. It was situated near areas where raw materials such as semi-precious stones were easily available. This was an important center for making objects out of stone, shell and metal. There was also a storehouse in the city. Many seals and ceilings were found in this storehouse. So now we had gone through the city of Dholavira. Now we will study about the city of Lothal, which stood beside a tributary of a Sabarmati in Gujarat. Okay, it was close to the Gulf of Kambat, and it was located near the material where you can find the raw materials such as semi-precious stones. Okay, and what was important center for making object out of stone, shells and metals. It was an important center for making objects out of stone, shells and metals. And also we can find different storehouses in the cities. Okay, many seals and ceilings were also found in the storehouse. What is the meaning of seals and ceilings? That is the impression of seals on clay. Okay, a dockyard at Lothal. This huge tank was may have been a dockyard where boats and ships came in from the sea, and through the river channels goods were probably loaded and unloaded here. So this was a place, it was prepared for loading and unloading of goods and materials. It is a dockyard at Lothal. Okay, the city of Lothal. A building that was found here was probably a workshop for making beads, piece of stone, half-made beads, tools for making beads making, and finished beads have been found here. So they also found in the city of Lothal. They also found in the city of Lothal they find a building which was looking like as a workshop for making beads and precious of stones and half made beads. All this they have shown. The workshop is also available, means they found the remainings of building was also found, which was looking as like a workshop. Seals and sealing, you can go through the meaning of seals and sealing. What is the actual meaning of seals and sealing? We had gone through in the previous paragraph, that is okay, that is there are also storehouses. Many seals and ceilings were found in the okay storerooms. So what is the meaning of seals and sealing? We can look at the picture. Seals may have been used to stamp bags or packets containing goods that were sent from one place to another. That is the seals. After a bag was closed or tied, a layer of wet clay was applied on the knot and the seal was pressed on it. The impression of the seal is known as the sealing. So that is the means to pack or cover with a special technique, that is the sealing. If the sealing was intact, one could be sure that the good have arrived safely. Yes, we are also today also, if we are buying something online, then we see that the packing is clear and it is not removed by anyone during the coming until the order reaches us. We see that whether the packing is opened or not. If it is intact, that means it is good and had arrived safely. That is the sealing. The mystery of the ant. Around 3900 years ago, we found the beginning of a major change. People stopped living in many of the cities. Writing seals and weights were no longer used. Raw material brought from long distances became rare. In Mohenjo-daro, we find that garbage spilled out on the street, the drainage system broke down, and new, less impressive houses were built even over the streets. So, about 39 years ago, what happened? The mystery of the hand. What is the mystery of the hand? We find that the beginning art is having a very major change, and people stopped living in many cities, and the use of writing of seals and weights, all that also decreases, and also people stop going to distinct places, going far away and bringing the raw material, and the street system and drainage system, all that break in the Mohenjo-daro, and people started living in a differently houses, means less impressive houses as they saw on the Harappans. Why did all this happen? We are not sure. Some scholars suggested that the river drained up. Others suggested that there was deforestation. This could have been happen because fuel was required for baking soils and for smelting copper ores. Besides, grazing by large herds of cattle, sheep and goats may have destroyed the green cover. In some areas there were floods, but none of this reason can explain the end of all the cities. Flooding or a river drying up would have been an effect in some areas. So why all this happened? This means the changes that came in the Harappan and how it did get destroyed. What is the mystery of the ant? It is not known by anyone. Some suggest that it is the reason what due to deforestation and use of fuel for baking bricks and smelting copper ores. This results into deforestation and overgrazing by large herds of cattle, sheep and goats may have destroyed the green cover. Then some suggest that some areas that were flooded, some said that there was a drought. So all these are the reasons that are suggested by different scholars. It appears as if the rulers lost control. In any case, the effect of the change are quite clear. Sites in Sindh and West Punjab were abandoned, while many people moved into newer small settlements to the east and the south. So how people moved from that place? Some went means the some moved towards the east and some moved toward the west, means they just changed their location. They moved from that place and shift their settlements. Okay, and new cities emerges after 1400 years ago, and after 1400 years new cities emerges. Okay, you will read about this in chapter 5 and 8. So we will be studying further in our 5th and 8th chapter of history elsewhere. Find Egypt in your atlas. Most of the Egypt is a dry desert. except for the lands along the river Nile. Around 5000 years ago, kings ruled Egypt. These kings sent armies to distant lands to get gold, silver, ivory, timber, and precious stones. They also built huge tombs known as pyramids. When they died, the bodies of kings were preserved and buried in these pyramids. These carefully preserved bodies are known as mummies. A large number of objects were also buried with them. This includes foods and drink, clothes, ornaments, utensils, musical instruments, weapons, and animals. Sometimes even serving men and women were buried with the rulers. These are amongst the most elaborate burials known as world history. So, this is a story, means it is not a story, it is a real fact about Egypt, that many rulers have ruled around 5000 years ago. And what did they did? They used to take out gold, silver, ivory, timber, and precious stones at these places, and then they build a huge tomb that is known as pyramid. You can look at the pictures that are prepared, that are built by the kings, and when they die, they used to get buried in that pyramids only. And with them, what is that called? That is called mummies. And with them, they also buried drinks, foods, clothes, ornaments, utensils, and musical instruments, as they think that there is also life after death. So this is the description about Egypt. Exercise part is coming, so we'll do the exercise part and continue with our next chapter in our next video.